He's an absolute joke.
Oh, she don't have a second income, meaning that her income, whatever job she's chosen in career path, might pay her very well, but that probably is still supplemental income. And she's on the hamster wheel. I guarantee you there's no man. And these women get to this age and then they start saying, I should be able to support myself on this income. No, let's go back. And I want you to always remember that when they pull up this data, okay, when they pull up this data, in order to maintain a single life, you must make way more than what two working adults need to make.
So I see women are scrambling. I haven't dated in a year, celibate for a year as well. So I haven't been dating, but I hear about women and their unrest with the ideas of growing old and not being able to start their own family and settle down. Now, it's a real thing. I'm not gonna sit here and act like it ain't a real thing, because men are playing a different game now, and it's all due to a result of the fight for equality turning into complete tyranny via feminism. Feminism destroyed the dating market, and as many men that was willing to accept that, the stronger it grew, and it just self-destructed.
We got Tracy Unplugged. All right, she's trying to go in on Coach Greg Adams. All right, she wants to critique the free agent lifestyle. It's hilarious. All right, because based off a little bit I heard, she's teaching women to do the same exact thing on the opposite side. But let's get into it. You already know what I'm about to do. Let's go.
Guys, and welcome back to Tracy Unplugged. In today's video, you guys are going to get into it. There is this coach. He calls himself Coach Greg Adams. The name of his YouTube channel is called The Free Agent Lifestyle. And
I'm calling Cap already. I mean, you doing a reaction video to a guy that you're trying to critique. You're trying to sit here and act like you don't know the name of his channel. It's so disingenuous. You can't even, I mean, they can't even beef genuinely, right? She has an issue. She can't even do that genuinely. She has to act like she don't know the actual channel that she's talking about. It's crazy.
I tell you, man, nobody can love me more than me. All right, I figured that out. But ladies, if you want to try, let me know. All right, if you want to try, the first thing you're going to do when you see me is
videos, because he came for the aunties, and you guys know I had to react to this. I've reacted to Coach Greg Adams before. It was, I think, a couple of years ago, and I wasn't actually putting up the video footage, but I was responding to, I believe, an interview. He was on somebody's podcast or something like that. So I didn't even know that the name of his YouTube channel was called This Free Agent Lifestyle. So basically, from
Look how she keeps saying it. Why do you have such a problem with a man being free from a woman's grasp? Why do you have such a problem with that? You see how she said it? She almost hates to say it. This free.
that I did looking at his channel, he is basically promoting and encouraging men to go out, passport bro lifestyle, go outside the country, divest, date non-Black women, date impoverished women who basically don't have any options. And so,
Tracy, with all due respect, the women in America are impoverished and they don't have the options they think they have.
I don't know. I want to know, why is it that when a woman has multiple children, maybe by multiple different men, that she's not qualified now for a good man, a quote unquote good man, anymore? Like, say if she had her kids in her 20s, because a lot of people, not just females, but we like to blame everything on females when they have kids. Why did you open your legs? Whatever. But a lot of females, we make bad decisions and we choose the bad men that we normally wouldn't choose when our mind is grown. So why is it that when we did that in our 20s or whatever, and now a woman is in her 40s, 45, 46, whatever the case is, and she has these three kids that she had in her 20s, that now that she has her own, maybe her own house, her own car, maybe her own business, or just a really good job, why is it now that she's still not qualified or valued enough to have a good man because she had three kids by three different men in her 20s, and she made decisions back in her 20s, but now she's this age and she's got herself together, she's not qualified for a good man? I just don't get it. Like, I don't know. It is like, I don't know. I don't know.
Brazil, Thailand, the Philippines, go to one of these countries and then basically exploit these women is basically what he's encouraging and promoting over there on his channel. So in this particular video though, and that's nothing new. We all know about the passport bros, okay? We all know exactly what they're up to. They're not.
I'm sorry to keep stopping it. I can't help it because she's saying a lot. She's saying a lot of bullshit. What is the difference with the women over here? They're exploiting themselves through our or y'all culture. They're exploiting themselves. Everything is about $1 in a transaction. But you're opposed to a man geographically moving his location and making those same transactions with women that don't look like you? That part right there.
Go to these impoverished countries and take advantage of these women who have no options, who are willing to do any and everything just so they can get some money for themselves and for their families. So we are well aware of the passport bros. Nothing new there. Okay, nothing to see. But in this particular video, he is talking about the aunties, and he has come across a video of this woman, an older woman, who is basically talking about this economy and how high this cost of living is. And so of course he had and respond and listen to what he had to say and his advice to this auntie who's out here struggling in this economy. So let's go ahead and go over here and take a listen to what Mr. Greg Adams had to say.
Let's go take you to the next woman here that's going to talk about this. People don't want to boss up. They want to live a life of making choices independently without suffering the consequences. Nah, man, there's consequences to everything. So here we go. Is the American life becoming financially impossible? Here's the woman at the bottom of the screen. She looks like some of y'all aunties and grandmas, but let's continue.
2 kids, right, is about $78,000. See, this is the game that the media will try to play with you to make you think in your struggle, it's you. No, boo, it's the system. Because basically, the American life is becoming mathematically impossible for most Americans to even live. Right now, the American economy.
It's the system. It's everything except them. The one thing that they can do to almost rectify the situation or just put themselves in a better predicament is to just cohabitate with a man. See, it's not the system, it's your brain. Okay, it's your brain. And because you don't want to cohabitate with a man and be what probably your God, because most black women are Christian and believe in Jesus, what your God ordained for you to be was a helpmate to a man. So every time y'all go outside of that structure, all right, which is biological, you lose.
See the prize, you reach for it, but that claw never actually grabs tight enough to pull it out. So I'm asking, when you hear numbers like this, do they feel realistic to you? Or does it sound like they're describing a life that most Americans will never live?
Okay, so let me just start right here. And I'm not trying to diss auntie right here. Okay, but I can guarantee you she has no man. I can guarantee you this woman does not have a man. She doesn't have a husband. She does not have a boyfriend.
So oftentimes, ladies, this will be these manosphere men talking points. She don't have a man, she don't have a husband. Because they're trying to prove that women are struggling out here because they're single.
Men are not trying to prove anything. Y'all prove it every day. Stats prove it. Right? Women on TikTok prove it. Women on social media prove it. by the shit that they cry out about. And women that are up under men are not on the internet complaining about this. Right? The same thing they say about a man having a woman. All right? He's not looking to her for provision and protection. All right? Words come to words, he can just be single and get it when he need it and deal with you on that note. And never have to deal with your emotional side. Okay? Because that's the part that ruins the relationships 9 times out of 10. When it comes to a man, just your emo side and not being able to regulate it and always wanting to be eye to eye instead of being what you were meant to be. Let's go.
Not taking accountability for the fact that men are out here struggling too. So, what are you talking about? Just have a man.
The bankroll. Here it comes.
This is what make it all happen.
Here
Right
it come.
That's what make it happen.
This is what make it happen.
If a man want to know how to meet a nice woman, how you meet her?
With this. First damn word come out your mouth. I got money.
But those not respectable women.
I don't want no respect. I want some ass.
The fact that a lot of people are just struggling, even in couple, barely able to make ends meet, barely able to pay the bills. And they're in relationships in couples. But these men love to push their agenda that these women are struggling because they're single and they didn't choose a man. They're not in a relationship with a man. The other thing that they oftentimes will say as their talking points is, she probably was ran through when she was younger. She was probably ran through, or she probably thought that she had so many options. She didn't choose a man when she was younger. Now look at her. She's older and now she's struggling. She should have just got a man.
We know they're struggling because they're the only ones on the internet begging.
As a woman, I'm not telling you shit that you should already know. You should know that I like flowers. You should know that I like dates. You should know that I want time spent. Like, I'm not the bitch that you keep put up in the crib. I want to go out.
And she probably got a pookie ass boyfriend at that. When I'm going to tell you that's a choice. Okay. And somebody said at least her hair is real. I guarantee you for about 45 years, it wasn't real. This is when women give up. When they go natural, they've given up on life. Anytime you see a woman with a natural, she is so broke and giving up on relationships and marriages that she just said, fuck it. Okay. So.
Wow. How about she is natural because she's literally talking about this economy that we're in and this high cost of living. And she has realized that she can save a ton of money by just wearing her natural hair or just by doing her own hair, doing her own nails, doing her own makeup. You ladies know that I have said plenty of times over here, I think you ladies need to minimalize your life. Start becoming creative. Start looking into different ways to house hack. Find roommates. Rent out a room in your house if you have a big enough house. If you have a condo and you got an extra room that you're just using as a storage or a closet, clean it out, turn it into a bedroom, rent it out. Like, there's so many different ways that you ladies can make money. And as I tell you ladies all the time, the last resort, the last thing you should want to do is try to couple up with a man, living in a house with a man in a romantic relationship. If you want to have a man in the house,
Is this illogical or what? Listen to what she's telling women to do. You're complaining about a man, a man coaching men about a particular lifestyle. You're complaining about this. You're reacting to it while you're simultaneously telling women to do the same thing. What the hell is going on here? You're telling women, why would you be in a romantic relationship with a man? I guarantee you when she's trying to sell a man on something, it's not business. I guarantee you anytime she's intermingling with a man, She's trying to make it about emotions and feelings. The dollar will always be the bottom line, no matter how much people want to get away from it. Guys who say they don't pay, you're lying. All right? You're lying. You know they're lying based off what women are asking for. Everything they do is transactional. You do something for them, you just do it out of love. They do something for you, it's a gift. You borrowed it, and they're going to write that shit down on the board and make sure that you remember that shit. Because they check off everything that they do for you. But the shit you do for them, you're supposed to do it because you're a man. They never have shit that they're supposed to do as a woman. They can never just spell it out.
Mate. Do not get a man. See, these men always want to partner you ladies up with a man as if this man is going to save you. This man can't save himself.
It's crazy.
So how's he going to save you?
He can't. So why would you get with a bum? Why would you get with a bum anyway? There's plenty of men out here that can take care of themselves and a woman. But your attitude and your outlook on life don't call for it.
Single black women. But this is what men like this love to bring attention to and try to act like all of her problems would be solved if she would just get a man. Now, on one hand, these same men are always going on and on about, oh, they don't like a woman with a wig. Why don't these women stop wearing all these wigs, these bust downs? Then when you have ladies like this who are wearing their natural hair, now he's basically saying she's just giving up on life. That's the only reason she's wearing her natural hair, because women like this have already given up on life.
And that's probably his personal preference, not to deal with a woman with her natural hair. That's his personal preference. There's plenty of men who like a woman with natural hair. It is what it is.
Absolutely asinine. But ladies, I like to bring this to your attention so that you know the type of men that I'm always talking about. Now, this Coach Greg Adams over here has 114,000 subscribers. He has a nice little following. On this particular video, he got 722 likes. Didn't I tell you, ladies, these men just follow up behind men like him. So his whole programming is get your money up, dudes, and then go outside the country and take advantage and exploit these women in these impoverished countries. And then he goes over and he makes all kind of videos. You'll see it all on his TikTok. It's just videos of him showing himself with all these very, very young looking women from all these different countries.
Young looking women. Young. That's the key word right there. Young. Because when she was those young women's age, she wouldn't be trying to hear that shit. She would be going after guys who had shit. But now that that window is closing, right? The window closes. It's automatic. Father time, sister time is undefeated. The window's closing. Now you got a problem with younger women. It's always about their jealousy and competition with younger women. Older men are never in competition with younger men. We already know where we at. And 9 times out of 10, the younger men, they broke, so they can't even really sustain nothing. And those same women that they might be knocking off, older men that got their shit together, they knocking them off too, under their terms, not under her terms. And this is what they don't like. They don't like a man not being under the will, all right, in power of that box. Anytime a man can reject that box and get that box on his time, on his means, that's what they got a problem with. Because everything she's saying about these women overseas is the same situation with the women over here. Especially in our community, because they're at the bottom economically as far as everybody goes. The Latin women and the white women edged them out because most of them are married. So their net worth is going to be more because they actually have a husband. So even if they are somewhat struggling with the man that they may be with, the average man, because remember, there's more average men than there are top tier. So most of these women are with average men. They would rather struggle by themselves and pay 100% of everything than to actually be in lockstep with a man and getting whatever other provision that he's going to provide in that relationship. They rather just do it alone. So I don't feel bad for them. They're just mad. She's teaching these women the same exact thing, how to be without a man. That's literally what her whole message is. How to live without a man. So it's okay for a woman to follow a woman in her philosophy, if you want to call it that. Men follow logic. Men follow logic first. We follow logic first. And as long as we're going through the situation, we know what we need and we know what's right. So we follow logic. We don't follow feelings.
This is the same dude that I told you guys over a year or so ago. He was bragging, saying that he has these women sign NDAs, that he has come up with a habitual or some type of contract where before these women even come to his house, it's like a cohabitation contract so that he doesn't get a woman who spends the night or two and then all of a sudden she wants to move in with him.
I guarantee you, when she went to court and got divorced, I guarantee you she didn't have a problem with that marriage contract and everything that the court said that she's supposed to get out of that marriage. I guarantee you she didn't have a problem with that contract.